Let's talk about the movie Carissa. Since you're both director and screenwriters of the movie, my questions will be for the both of you. First of all, I read in the notes that this movie took 6 years in the making. 7 years in the making. So why did it took so long, and how was the making of process?
Okay, I think it took so long because it was a test of faith for both of us. It was the first time that we were working together on a long project, a long feature project, and it allowed us to really stay with the project. It allowed us to really build the story with the community as we wrote the story. And I think every story is very specific and very particular. And it all depends in terms of how the story unfolds, how the world around the story unfolds. So it had to take so long, but in actual fact, it actually feels it was like yesterday.
Yeah.
It felt quite short, but inspiration. That was your second question, eh?
No, it was what was the production process? Was it?
Yeah, actually, yes.
Well, I think just to carry on what Jason's saying, I think it took so long primarily because I think there was a lot for us to still learn and understand about Carissa's world. And we shot in this community in Wuppertal. It was a very small rural village in South Africa. And I mean, it took us going there for many months at a time to just have conversations around the fire, just to make friends and integrate ourselves into that community and really learn what the stories that are happening there for real. And then the community kind of really became a big part of the story. And I think it needed to take time. It wasn't a script you could write in 3 months. It needed time for us to sit and feel the community, to feel what it's like to be there, and to notice how the light changes over the mountains, how long the golden hour is. I think, and we lived. There's the hut that Carissa's grandfather lives in, and we had gone there several times, just hanging out actually. But then you really start making the film. Oh, that will be beautiful there, and this can work over here. And you start to really feel the location. It's not you arrive there once and then go, oh, we'll shoot that there. It's kind of you feel more at home in this environment because you've been there. Yeah.
And every step, someone came on board. Every step, someone came on board and stayed. And now we have lifelong friends, and we have deepened our relationship with the community.
Sure.
Yeah.
And why did you choose the Wuppertal community to set your movie in? And how was your relationship with them? I mean, how did you integrate with them?
You can go. You can jump in.
I think it chose us. I think the story kind of told us where to go. I don't think we have much say in things sometimes. I think the story. I think it's whenever we kind of have these grand ideas for a film or something big. I think eventually time, especially over 7 years, time eventually tells you where it needs to go and what it needs to be. Instead of us kind of forcing an issue. And I think Wuppertal came into our lives kind of by accident. And the friendships that we fostered there, I mean, a lot of the people that we made friends with are in the film, with a largely non-professional cast. And they were just incredible. Just to see them, because we know them so well, we know what they can do, but they still surprised us. I think they surprised me so much. Like just... for example, Edgar Valentijn, who plays the Montreal representative. I mean, this is a man, and we sleep on his porch when we go there, and it's that kind of. We sing songs together at night and drink together, and to see him just become an actor, it's incredible, and he steps into it with fierce courage and really, really do it, and it's an incredible performance. So it's that kind of thing where it's quite fun to see our friends on screen, but. They deserve to be on screen.
And also, I think it was an introduction or a reintroduction to the land and the beauty of the land and the beauty of connection to ancestral land and what that means and what nature means and represents. And the the culture of rooibos harvesting and what that means and archiving that. And I think in essence, the opportunity and the blessing to be able to archive the community and something that they will forever now have, and instilling pride back into them. That is essentially why I think also we made this film.
At the center of the story, there is this sort of luxury resort that is going to be built. So I was wondering, is it a thing that is going on now in South Africa, like destroying natural landscapes to build luxury resorts and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, in Cape Town, the First Nation indigenous people have been fighting against big companies coming in and like wanting to build on sacred water spaces. But in Wuppertal itself, no, that it hasn't happened yet. It's all fictional element of the story that we felt we needed to bring into the story. But it definitely is a reality in South Africa.
South Africa is all about land. It's a lot of the sort of national conversation is about land and the difficult histories behind it. So I think it's kind of a microcosmic, metaphorical story that we're telling there. That really there's traces of colonialism in there, and what's happening today, even with sort of neo-colonialist big companies in Cape Town. It's very difficult issues because on the one hand, what we try to do is not to demonize too much a company like this, because they do bring employment and people do need the money that it brings in, but at the expense, at what cost, if we're asking. So there's these back and forth, and I think they're quite they're difficult questions to answer. It's hard for us to, I don't think we want to land on a side. We just want to show the absolute complexities of it and say this is the reality of something, and let people simmer in that discomfort. I think we like making people uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I mean, I think just to make it clear, Wuppertal is a very self-sustaining community.
Yeah.
The community is fantastic. They have an economy that works beautifully. The way that they deal with the land, the way they deal with the animals, the way they deal with their plant life. It's a self-sustaining community, and the fictional element is what's in the film. And I think overall, it's the question of, young people being called to continue the lineage of taking care of the land and taking it over, which might be something also that might come up for people. Is the elders are dying out, the knowledge are dying out with them, and there isn't a lot of young people interested in taking that forward. So hopefully this film will inspire people to feel the essence of also where they come from. Yeah.
Last question. I was wondering, what did you use? What kind of camera did you use to shoot the movie? And why the format, the aspect ratio is like, I think, 4:3?
Yeah.
Sony FS6. And 4:3 was just always the choice.
Intimacy,
yeah. I think that's the answer. But it was always 4:3. And like when we started, we did a camera test in 2021. As a kind of proof of concept for us to go into the community. We went with Gretchen. And it was just 3 days of just kind of figuring out what the look of the film is. And I think we unanimously kind of agreed with DOP Gray Kotze.
yeah.
Look, this is a 4:3 film. And I think some people have questioned that for us, because they want to see the scope and grandiosity of the mountains, but I think they come through.
They definitely
come through. Those mountains are gorgeous. In 4:3, I think it highlights them, it brings them forward to you. And intimacy with the character, as you say.
And at the same time, also the opposite of intimacy, this kind of Carissa and the feeling of stuckness and the sense of that she feels misunderstood, and she feels like she's in this box, she's being put into this box, which is also kind of the boxing of South Africa in terms of, race and all of these things. So yeah, it's definitely that, and it's like looking at an old photo album, which is like, this is so pretty.
Every frame a painting.
Yeah, it's a painting, definitely. Yeah.
Well, I thank you for your time, and I wish you the very best of luck with the movie.
Thank you so much. Thank you.